Hey guys, welcome back. This is ChosenArchitect. Today we are going to be getting automation set up for the HDPE sheets. And this is going to be one of the sexiest setups I think I've ever done with Mekanism. So, I hope you guys are ready. So today we're going to be working on some Mekanism, and we're going to be getting some Mekanism done. But there's some things that I want to do first. Before we do that, I want to explain a few things. So, if you've played around with Draconic Evolution in this recent update, you'll notice that the book is actually broken for Draconic Evolution. There's a good reason for this, and I kind of want to talk about it. If you go into Options and Controls and hit I, you're going to notice there's some key conflicts. If you show conflicts here, and you hit I on the keyboard, if you show conflicts right here, you'll see there's a few things that are marked with I. You'll want to remove everything that uses I except for Project Intelligence, or you can change this. Because if you hit I on your keyboard, it's supposed to open up Project Intelligence, which is this, which technically will open up to this menu right here. And normally it'll be full size, so it'll be this full window here. I just have it reduced because I kind of like it reduced. But yeah, this basically is your Draconic Evolution guide. So it's all been moved here, and everything should work. It's the same as your other thing. Basically, it kind of explains a little bit about what this project is and what it does. And the goal of this project is to, create a universal documentation mod, and so that way other mod developers, I guess, can add their documentation to this. So it's actually pretty nice. But if you wanted to find your book there for Draconia or for Draconic Evolution, it's right there. All right, so let's do one thing that I want to do before we get started with Mekanism fully, because getting into Mekanism is going to take a little bit of time, and we're going to build everything over here. I did go ahead and make some travel anchors. I'll show you guys those in a minute. But, and I also made the Ender Mark IV, and I've added all the enchants that I think I want on these. I don't know if there's still a couple more enchants that I might want to add to the armor that kind of do reverse damage or do damage whenever somebody hits us. But for right now, I'm just going to leave it on just Proc 4. And these are all fully upgraded. I went ahead and made the Ender and then also added Efficiency 5 to these guys. And then I added pretty much the best vanilla enchants you can add to a sword. And I went ahead and added it to this, plus also added travel and empowered this guy. So, yeah. And, yeah, this thing is pretty ridiculous. But we're going to color all this stuff. As you can see here, these three items are going to be RGB, and my regular armor is going to be CYMK. Which, if you guys don't know what that is, it is the CYMK. I'm sure some of you may be familiar with it, but it's how your printer works. Most printers print in CYMK. There are printers that do print in other colors, but for the most part, the most realistic printer or home printer is going to be printing in CYMK. And you usually see that whenever it's being printed out. So let's go ahead and do this first. This is going to be red. Then this is going to be green. Green is kind of dull on this, but it'll work. And blue. Then for the armor, light blue. For the helmet, the chest piece, pink, yellow for the pants, and then black for the boots. I can remove all the colors if I want just by adding some bone meal. I think the green, let's try light green or lime. Can we get some lime in here? That is the question. Let's get mortar, because lime might actually show up a little bit better. Don't know. We'll just have to see. Let's try some lime on this guy. Oh yeah, lime looks way better. So there we go. So we have red RGB down here, which kind of fits also in with the FTB colors. And then we also have our lovely armor, which is CYMK. Yeah, pretty interesting. I don't know, I thought that would be something just kind of spruce my armor and tools up. My acceleration wand is already orange, and I get a lot of questions about why is it orange. It's because I've used the Random Things dyeing machine. It really just changes the color of it. It really doesn't do anything else. But I thought it would be a nice little touch. So, let's get in to this mod. Now, there's a few things that we're going to have to do, and we're going to have to crush up. One is obsidian, which we already have crushed obsidian. We need diamond as well. That needs to be crushed. Right? And that sounds like, oh no, why would we crush up diamonds? We're going to need them for today. And speaking of these swords and these tools and stuff, if we hold shift, I went ahead and placed down some travel anchors. I want to paint these. You can use a painting machine to do that. I'm going to have a painting machine eventually, but as you can see, I can now hold shift while holding the sword or my pickaxe, and I can travel to these travel anchors immediately. It's pretty handy, I gotta admit. So let's go ahead and throw this in our super fast pulverizer. Is that going to work? No. I guess we can't crush diamonds in a sag mill. We can do it in a pulverizer, I believe. What's another way to do this? Oh, a crusher will do it itself, but that's going to be slow. A pulverizer will do it. Yeah, let's use a pulverizer. It's probably the best way to do this. So, pulverizer, we already have a resonant version of this. I'm just going to put this down temporarily. This is what we're going to be utilizing, just basically just to get some diamond, because we have to get all these upgrades, and they're going to start adding up. Let's throw that in there. That should take no time at all, especially if we accelerate this. There's a stack of it. Perfect. That's probably all we need. And we can go ahead and break this. By the way, this pick, when it's upgraded, is just about as fast as the birthday pick. I'm not going to lie. It's pretty fast. Alright, so we're going to need the metallurgic infuser. We're also going to need a node. I think I have an energy node stored in here, because this is what we're going to be utilizing for our power. I am going to place it right here temporarily. This is not where it's going to finally go, but this is where we're going to basically place all of our GPSs in, and then we'll sort those out later. Okay, so right here, let's just go ahead and get this one started. We're going to save that there. This is going to give it power. And now we have power and metallurgic infuser. Some of the first things we need in here is going to be iron and redstone. So I'll throw some iron and redstone in here. Redstone goes in this slot, and iron goes in here. And you're going to hear this noise that this is going to make. I'm just going to go ahead and throw that in there for right now. We are going to be making some muffler upgrades very, very soon. We can actually acceleration one this as well, and I'll get that one made. We're going to EMC that. Perfect. So each one of these are going to be tiered up. If we go into Mechanism, not upgrades, but we go to Mechanism, and it's on these alloys. You can see right here, they just keep going up. This is the refined. You pretty much start here, you go to the refined, which is going to use diamond, and you throw this guy in there, and that'll produce the refined. Then it goes into this one, which is going to use obsidian, and it's just going to keep going from there on these. It's actually not too difficult to figure this out. I'm going to go ahead and dump this, because remember, this needs diamond. I don't know how many diamond it needs. Maybe it's just one diamond? It's just one diamond, so yeah. We don't even have to dump it right now. But we do need to save each one of these. Throw this in here. This is going to require pulverized obsidian, I believe. No, it's plated obsidian. That's right. Take a look here. You'll see refined obsidian or compressed obsidian. Looks like an enrichment chamber will do that. Refined obsidian dust. Oh, okay. So yeah, we still need diamond. Diamond and obsidian powder. I thought there was another use for diamond. Okay, and that saved that. And then one of those in here to that should get that started. Bam! Look at that. We already have like the top tier atomic alloy. Like, right on. And here's all the other ones. I'm just going to go ahead and grab a stack of those. And we're going to throw these inside our applied logistics system. Nice. So here we go for the automation of plastic today, getting into Mechanism. We have a few things I want to talk about. We have ender gas conduits. These things are going to be really nice because we're going to be able to facade this whole area, and we're going to make this setup look nice. It's not very easy to make your Mechanism stuff look nice, but we're going to do that with conduit facades and all kinds of goodies. One of those is going to be the Ender gas conduits, which is awesome, which is it's an add-on for Ender IO that adds Mekanism integration. We're also going to need a configurator potentially, and we have the only other block that has been placed is the rotary condensator. So yeah, I always have a problem saying this. Condense tracker, something like that. Anyways, long name. Basically, it just condenses gas into liquids, which is exactly what we're going to do. And the other way, you can use this machine as a which is a condenser, which basically takes liquids into gases. So this is a multi-use machine. We also have a sink. I know a lot of you guys say, why don't you use a sink? Because it's the best water source. I'm going to use it today. I don't have to. There is other options. The reservoir from Ender IO is actually a really good option, but I'm just going to use this for today. And I'm just going to place it underneath. We're going to go ahead and get started just right off the bat by doing this. Now, if I use conduits, we can actually hide these conduits, and I want to have that done today. So I'm going to go ahead and extract, and we're going to set this automatically to insert. The front face on this is the side that takes in the fluids. This doesn't actually have any way to configure this, so you're stuck with this. And you might notice the noise is pretty obnoxious, so we're going to throw 4 muffler upgrades in there, and we're going to hit this with our acceleration wand to get that muffler upgrades to go in there quick. And you can see you get hydrogen and oxygen. This is exactly the right side. So this side will produce hydrogen, and this side will output oxygen, as you can see. We are going to need both. First, we're going to use hydrogen for this machine. To do that, I'm going to use the gas conduit. And like I said, we can actually move this down. I'm actually going to put this in the floor right now and only come up here. It may look funny right now, but believe me, it will look good when we have facades going on. So for this, we're going to go extract. This actually has channels, which is really cool. So you can go always active right here. And we're going to have that inserting just like so. So that should be pulling the hydrogen from this side, putting it over there. So this pressurized reaction chamber actually is going to need the opposite. It's going to need oxygen. So I'm pretty sure it needs oxygen. Let's take a look at the plastic. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. So we're making this HDPE sheets. That's exactly what we're working on right now. And as you can see, it does require oxygen to get to this point. So yeah, it's going to require liquid ethylene and oxygen. Perfect. So what we can do is run the conduits the same way on this side. Just like so. And we'll set this to extract, always active, and insert. Now, this may not directly go in here, but it looks like it is, because if we take a look at the sides, we have energy, fluids, and gases. We need to look at fluids, and you can see yellow is on this bottom part. We can actually set this to gases, and you can see that gases are now on the left and right configure, and they're set to just gases, input and output. So, as you can see, the red is gas, and it's actually accepting all of that, as you can see. Now, this does need to receive some power, so I'm going to take one of the markers, set that, make sure that's all receiving power. I need to set all of these to make sure these are receiving power. Just like so. Let's set all these GPS markers. There we go. And we have one more left over that we'll use later. But these should all be receiving that. This should be working. This is filled with water. This is basically just going to keep filling these guys up as fast as it possibly can. Awesome. Next part. This is going to be a little bit more difficult. We're going to back up a little bit. And down here, we're going to set up a roost system that is going to be producing any kind of food, I think, to make the... what is it called? It's basically the mulch, or the matter that we're going to be using. Let's take a look. Plastic. It's the to make the substrate, we need biofuel. And we can use saplings for that. So I'm just going to use potentially saplings. We can probably use poisonous potatoes. potatoes actually give us more. So, do we not have any potatoes in here? I think we have some laying around elsewhere. Of course we do. So potatoes will give us a good amount. So we're probably going to EMC those. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to set a roost. I actually need to grab some flat transfer nodes. Just to make this nice and clean. And down here, we're going to have a roost. And this roost is going to be outputting. And it's going to be outputting emeralds into an energy condenser. The energy condenser is going to have potatoes stored in it. We can go ahead and give it a couple of these to go ahead and get a couple potatoes flowing. Just throw a couple of those in there. There we go. And that's going to be producing potatoes. And that should produce a lot of potatoes once one of the emeralds just flow in there. And then we're going to go even further. Taking item conduits. Basically going to pipe the items into the back of this machine. Right? And that's going to produce the items. We need a way of also routing the items out of here. And I'm going to show you how to do that here in a second. But let's go ahead and make sure that this is configured right. Right here, we're in the items config slot. And it looks like the bottom is not what we want. We want the back side, which I think this is the back. And we want that to be in input. So let's set this to insert. Set this to extract. Always active. And that should be inserting potatoes. And of course, this makes some noise. So let's throw the sound upgrade in there. You can actually turn that off in the config, but, you know, I like the sound upgrade to be in there. And so it doesn't make any noise. So now we need to get the items outputted from here, or to output them from here. And probably the best way to do that is to open this up for the items configurator and make sure that the bottom section is set to dark green, which is supposed to be out, I think. If we take a look at this again. No, that's the energy. We need it to blue. So we need the item to be set to blue for the output. Red's input, blue's output for this mod. And then we're going to have to set that up and route those items to this machine. So let's go ahead and get the setup for this. We need the item to be on this side. We need this to be red, right? For the item config. So the bottom, I want to set that to red, the input. Every machine's different. It's kind of weird how it's set up, but believe me, it works in the end. And yeah, we can just set it up right here. We just kind of have to probably get a Yeta wrench, if I have one, in here. Good old-fashioned Yeta wrench. Unlink that. We need to probably, make sure that this is not connected. Step down. By the way, if you have a Yeta wrench, you don't have to step down. You can actually hold Shift and right-click on this to pop it off. Or you break this connection. You have two connections right here. You're supposed to be able to Shift and left-click the center, and you can go up. And now I'm configuring the up. Or you can go down, and I can turn that off right here. So I don't have to do that. So that having this is really nice, so you don't have to break a block down below. So let's go ahead and set that to always active on the extract. We're going to go ahead and route these items. And like I said earlier, we can do the same thing over here. Insert. That should, hopefully, if all works, pull the fuel over here. Perfect. Now, this is missing one other thing. That's this conduit, this fluid pipe. We're going to have to send this fluid pipe over here. And luckily, we can do that because this is Ender IO. Look how nice that is. And I should be able to use my Yeta wrench for this to auto-link them. Like that. And then what I'm going to do is set this. I'm going to run this through the back because I'm going to set this on the other side, just make it easy on myself. Right here, and then I'll auto-link them, put that up. Right-click here to link. And set this to insert. Right there, and then we're going to have to configure the side, of course, to get it to work. So on the side, this should be the left side here. We'll go to fluids, and we'll set that to input, and you can see it turns on. Let's throw our upgrade in there to reduce the audio. And there we go. So this guy is producing substrate, right? So we're going to need another conduit on the back. There's going to be a lot of conduits on these machines, but believe me, this is going to work. And on the back, which I believe is this slot right here, we'll set that to output, which is blue. And we're going to run an item conduit because we need to pull this substrate and we need to put it over here into this reaction chamber. So to do that, I just need to pipe this along. And this right here, we can go ahead and disconnect. And we're going to just run this through. Just like so. And then over here in the bottom, because I'm going to be inputting into the bottom, just kind of keep things the same. We'll set that to insert. And then over here, we'll configure the sides. Bottom is going to be items, input. Over here, we need to configure this to be just extract, always active. And that should pull that out, put that in this machine. Nice. So all of that is working. You see this mess of cables, which is nice because we can actually change this later on, which is going to be so nice to be able to cover all this huge mess. Alright, so this thing is going to need another fluid along with the oxygen that it's producing. And the thing is this ethylene is the fluid that we need to convert over to liquid version. This is a gas, we need to convert that to a liquid. This is where this other machine is going to come into play. So, let's go ahead and get that machine set up, which is the rotary condenser. I'm actually going to place this rotary condenser where it can't be seen. And you may be like, why? Well, it's just going to get in the way, and it's also makes it an odd sort of number here, and I want this thing to be out of the way. So let's go ahead and get our GPS marker, because this also needs power. Shift right click on there. That has power now, right? Should. We can see that here. Alright, and then we need to get this ethylene, which is going to be another conduit on this thing. I know, you're like, really? We need another conduit? Yes, it's going to go on the top. And we're just going to route this through. I think this needs to be, yeah, this is a gas conduit, sorry. This needs to be a gas conduit. Just like that. This one, I'm going to change the actual channel for this. I'm going to change it to brown for right now. Set that to always active. Change it, there will be no insert here. And we're going to change the output for this ethylene, which is a gas, remember. And we're going to set that to the top. Output blue for the top. I need to pipe that down here, right? So let's go ahead and get that placed. Right now, that's already broke something. It needs to be insert on brown. Because right now this is pumping hydrogen in there, we don't want that. And there we go. Toggle operation. Disable. How do I auto pull that stuff out? I don't think I can. I think this block is basically done for. There's no way for me to even reset what was inside. Unfortunately. Oh man, this is nasty. But that's something that you have to deal with. I'm just going to make a new one. Just going to make a new one. That's not a big deal. It's actually not a big deal at all. It's just that this recipe requires you to manually place some of these items. So like this, you have to place this and this. To get another one of these machines. Now, this should not reconnect. There. Good. Okay. So, that's not set to auto. Leave this on brown. We're going to set that to insert. And that should extract always active once we hook this cabling up. it should run. Let's remove that. It needs to be hooked up here. Wait, it's already hooked up there. So that coming out, going in here, there's not a cable here. And then that runs down into here on a different channel and should be inputting gas ethylene, I believe. Gas ethylene output. Shouldn't matter if it's auto eject because we already have this going. So this should technically work. There it goes. There's the ethylene. Now we just need to reset the power. Make sure it's saved to this block. There we go. And throw an upgrade in this thing. I need to figure out why the power's not working. We have a GPS marker on this. Oh, we're out of power in general. Okay. I know why that is. We still haven't set up our main power grid yet. That's going to be a future episode. We're going to get our main power set up. It's because we ran out of power. How funny is that? Oh. We need to be over here. Gotta love that. So, now this has power. This is doing its thing. It's got its upgrade. It's actually producing liquid ethylene. We need to get that liquid ethylene into this machine. So to do that, we are going to run fluid conduits, pressurized. Just like that, and we're going to avoid everything else. And we should be able to put that right onto this side of this. Gotta love conduits for all this goodness. Alright, that's set. We'll set this to insert. And that should input to the right side because I think it's automatically set to that side. And this will be always active. That should fill, I believe. That is being pulled out, heading over here. Let's just check, because the sides may be wrong. Fluids, yeah, it is wrong. We'll just change that to the fluid. And there we go. And that machine's on. Throw the upgrades in. Now it's producing the HDPE pellets. And we're going to have to route that and get that into the enrichment chamber. Just a couple more steps. But after that, it's pretty much done. So, let's just hook up some conduit. This conduit's actually going to go to the back. And we'll set this on the brown channel. Do the same for this. Brown channel. And we'll hook in here. And we'll make sure this is on insert on the brown channel. Or no, this needs to be extract. Sorry. Extract, always active. That should automatically pull those those pellets out once we configure the side, of course. We need the side for the items. For the back, which is this one. Output. And that should pull the pellets out. Items, auto eject on. Side. This should be set to output. I believe that's the back. Always active. Extract. Insert. There we go. Now that should work. I say it should work, but I probably derped somewhere along the way. It needs to be on the brown channel. Come on now. I know you need to work somehow. It's already got tons of pellets. We just need to get this in the enrichment chamber. So these can be crafted into the sheets, but the enrichment chamber gives us more. We need to set the enrichment chamber side to accept it from the bottom. That's what we need to do. So we'll set this to input. And there we go. We've got it all set up. So pretty much we don't need this rotary machine anymore. This is garbage. We don't need the infuser anymore because we've already used all the stuff. Now we need to get conduit facades made, and we need to facade this bad boy up. Also in hider energy point. That is something that I also want to do. Which shouldn't take too long. So let's go ahead and get that done. So we have a couple facade types, and we now have a painting machine. So we have a transparent conduit facade, which I believe is completely transparent if we place it on a facade by itself, but it will remove the facade, so we won't, or we'll remove the cable, so we won't actually see the cable. That's gonna be very useful for the top pieces. For the bottom, we're gonna dye it this color, or we're gonna paint it this color. The same as the block texture for that bit that we are using for the floor. So if I throw this in here, that should dump out all the conduit facades that we're gonna need. I don't think we're gonna need that many, but, you know, there we go. We have a few. So let's go and head on over here, and let's start working this out. So we should just be able to place that there, that one there. If you click on the middle section, that's what you want to actually place it on. Place this all on the floor. And of course you want to get these sections as well. Just like that. You wouldn't even know this is here. Like, it's completely hidden. You're like, you'd be like, how is this working? How are you getting this to work without anything down here? It's absolutely awesome. It's pretty much magic. I love this. I love facades, man. So there we go. That's done. I think the only thing we need to do is actually put a real piece here. And all we got to do now is use a transparent facade to cover up these cables. I believe. Isn't there a way to make this fully transparent? So Ender.io actually has a block that I didn't even know about until just recently. I found out that there is an invisible block, and apparently we can use quite clear glass. I thought you could use quite clear glass. Maybe that was how you did it before in the past, but apparently we need machine parts, so we should be able to get all of these things. Pretty simple. Pretty simple. Let's go ahead and do this. Let's make the machine parts, and then we need to make the invisible block, which is pretty much going to do exactly what I wanted to do. We need quite clear. Do we not have any? I thought we did. No, we don't. I put it all in here. All the quite clear. So yeah, I originally didn't recognize that the block was there because I actually had all of the decorations blocks hidden. And you can do that by clicking this. And if you look, I have a bunch of items hidden. If we go to Ender.io, I have a lot of just decoration blocks hidden. Well, one of those decoration blocks was, of course, the invisible block. And I probably should have just realized that. But yeah, here's the invisible block. So we can take this out. We should be able to place this in here. And then we can paint our transparent conduit facades with that. And that should totally paint those, I believe. Yep. And voila. There is our transparent conduit facades. Super, super nice. So what we can do with these is we should be able to completely hide these. And you can see it acts like a full block. There we go. And we'll just completely hide all these. Super, super easy. And there we go. Bam. Just like that. Looks like we need a couple more. That's okay. These should be done now. And one last one. And there we go. Look at that super sexy setup. Man, this thing is awesome. Amazing. So guys, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, you know what to do. Don't forget to click that subscribe button if you haven't already. And also give this video, guys, a huge thumbs up. I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. And as always, thanks for watching.